Oh, lovely, thank you.
7 the latte.
I wonder what's behind the door.
Just had a lovely shower in Merlin.
There are some wonderful views from Dragon the Drone this morning.
I don't know what I think of it so far.
Wow, there's a cracking sky outside, Al.
Welcome to the channel. We are Graham and Ellie. We are Wizard in the Wild.
You left us last time desperately in search of coffee and books.
Did say dogs welcome, I think.
And we just stopped off in one of the little bookshops for a cup of coffee. It's lovely here. What do you reckon, Jazz? Do you like the books? Or are they a bit rough?
Oh, show them the wallpaper.
Yeah, I will. And that's the wallpaper. A coffee shop down there. You found a book to read, Anna?
Yeah, Barchester Towers. Dr. and Mrs. Proudy. Wow. Got some lovely books here. Do you want me to get you one? Got one there called Noble Essences or Courteous Revelations.
What are those little ones up there?
I don't know, I will have a look. Let's get you the littlest one.
Napoleon. Oh, lovely, thank you.
7 the latte.
That's me, thank you very much.
Looks like oat milk.
It looks like
Yes.
oatmeal.
There you go.
That's
Thank
lovely,
you,
thank
thanks.
you.
Oh, it's all about Napoleon.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, it's in French.
Ah,
I suppose it would be, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Croissant Frontier.
Did you say croissant frontier? Croissant frontier?
Yeah.
So that's a little book on Napoleon.
Well, give it one of those on the left.
It's always good to get my PA working.
Oh, my word.
Oh, wow.
Elegant epistles. A copious selection.
Did anybody notice how good I've been? And I've avoided the chocolate cake.
You can always tell Maya's bored when she does this funny little dance with her front paws.
These three have all been so good. And yes, they did get a little reward.
That's nice.
Blimey.
Where was my space? Where was my space?
There's one there.
Is it
Is
it?
it
There. Do you think it was there?
Does anybody else have an obsession with books like Ellie does? Let us know what your favourite genre of books is. You'd certainly find them here.
I answer your letter last because it was received last.
Is that Paul's?
And when I have answered it, I am out of debt to your house.
Is that from the Bible?
No.
I suppose we better go.
Nice cup of coffee though, isn't it?
Lovely, lovely cup of coffee and a nice chance to sit down.
Yeah, I think.
Great place.
Well, as lovely as that coffee and reading the books was, we've got to head back to Merlin. I've got a date with the bird hide. I'm going to go and have a look at some of the birds, see what I can see. Let's get back to Merlin now. You in a rush, Jazz?
Did you see Graham going off in the distance there? He's hoping to capture some birds, some images of birds in the bird hide.
It's only a short walk to the bird hide, as you can see here, and you get a good variety. There's freshwater ponds, salt marshes, and of course the river. Actually, it's a relief to get out of that wind. It's a really lovely bird hide, but you really will have to forgive the doors, floors and hatches all creaking and squeaking. The view from this side of the hide is the freshwater part. And on this side you've got the salt marshes and the river. The salt marshes in Scotland, they call them Merse. So this is the Merse. So you would expect with this great variety of water habitation types that you get quite a variety of different birds, as you can see from this recent sightings board. I wonder what we've got out there today. You're going to have to forgive my camera work here. It's the first time I've used this camera, and I underestimated exactly how much the wind was whistling through the hatches and in fact wobbling the camera. The new camera is the Canon SX70. It's got a very powerful zoom lens on it, but I think I've overdone it in many of these shots. I need to get cleverer at how I use it, I think. I found out that when you zoom in past a certain point, it uses a digital zoom rather than the optical lens zoom. But no worries, I'm sure I will improve. To give you some idea of what the camera is capable of, up there on the hill, in this picture, there is a wind turbine, which you can hardly see. But in this zoomed in video, you can actually see it very clearly. So it's a very powerful zoom camera. I hope to get better results from it in the future. I didn't see any of these fellas noted on the board. They must have missed them. There always seems to be a fight going on in the bird world. But fighting's a bit beneath this fellow. Well, these ducks all look like they're having a bit of fun. I couldn't believe how these little baby ducks, how long they could hold their breath for. Watch this. Here he comes up in the top left. Well, I must say, this was a most enjoyable 20 minutes or so. I could get used to this. Meanwhile, back in Merlin, all is calm. And what's Ellie been up to?
Well, you can't beat your own facilities, can you? Just had a lovely shower in Merlin. You don't often have to use the shower, but it's nice when you do. It's all cosy and does the job. So yeah, feeling very clean now.
Good.
It's your turn.
Yes, it's amazing really. Merlin's water tank gives us enough hot water for both of us to have a shower.
So tonight I'm going to try and do a cheese and vegetable bake, like a cheese sauce. But it's a bit of an experiment because it's something that I made at home that I have to mix in the van. So it could be a disaster. But anyway, for now I'm just boiling some potatoes and carrots. And a little later I'm going to add the broccoli. And that's going to form the basis of it. So when I'm at home, I make a vegan cheese sauce using cashew nuts. And it's actually really tasty. But I have to do it in a blender. And I don't have one in Merlin. So what I've done, I have blended up all the dry ingredients for the cheese sauce. And I'm going to mix it with some plant milk and hope that it comes out similar to the cheese sauce that I have at home. If I can use the powdered cheese sauce in Merlin, it'll be a bit of a game changer because it means then that I can make up a powder to bring with me, which won't take up much space in the van or extra weight. It avoids having over-processed cheese sauce, which is what your options are if you buy it in a jar. So by doing a homemade version, I know exactly what's in it. I also know that it's quite high in protein and quite healthy. So it's worth experimenting. As I say, it could be a bit disastrous. I'm hoping that it's at least edible. But yeah, if you don't try, you don't know, do you? So let's see how we get on. So I've put a couple of tablespoons of the powder into a mixing jug, and I'm just going to add some plant milk. Well, I don't know what I think of it so far. I won't know till I actually try and thicken it. Whether this is going to be disastrous and we're going to have soup, or whether it's going to work out. So I've just added the broccoli to steam on top of the potatoes and carrots. So this is what it looks like. More of a stew than I would normally go for. It smells nice, doesn't it?
It smells absolutely delicious.
It smells like cheese sauce. It's just whether it's a bit thin maybe. We might need some bread to mop it up. But that's what we're going for. I didn't show you the rest of the process because it was getting really complicated and it was a bit of an experiment. I did fully expect you to be watching us eating a bit of dry bread instead of this. So let's hope it tastes all right.
Well, from my point of view, I'm not sure how far away from Ellie's original vision this was, but it was really, really nice. I loved it. More, please. This whole area where we are is called the Macars Peninsula, and it's in Dumfries and Galloway. There's certainly loads of things to do in and around this area. And as the sun goes down, we're going to have a little walk upstream of the river this time. I don't know if I've said, but it's the River Bladnoch. And that area that you can see over there on the horizon, that's the sea at the foot of the hills there. And tonight it looks as if we've got 4 camper vans staying here.
Different, isn't it?
Yes, can you see us in the dark?
It does look a bit dark in here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've got the engine running on the van, so that
I could probably hear it. It's quite loud, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that's running so that we can get a bit of extra charge onto our batteries, which are getting, well, they're not low, but they're 50%, and we just want to keep it topped up. Basically, we don't want to run any risk that we have to turn the fridge off or the fridge goes off, you know.
Basically, we've had a couple of really cold nights, and whereas Graham and I whereas Graham and I would be a bit more hardcore about it. We don't mind if it gets down to about 12 or 14 degrees in the van. Unfortunately, we can't let Jazz get that cold. She's so small. I mean, we wrap her in blankets and what have you, but we think she's got a bit of a sniffle anyway. So we're having to leave the van and try and keep it to about 18 degrees at night, which means running the diesel heater. And I've got medication in the freezer that if it thaws out, we have to go home. So it's a bit of a problem here, isn't it, Gray?
Yeah. So we're just trying to keep on top of it and make sure that it's not imminent that the batteries are gonna stop outputting, but we just want to make sure it doesn't happen, don't we?
Yeah.
We'll leave that like that for about 10-15 minutes, something like that.
It's not ideal. We don't like to run the engine like that to charge the battery. We'd rather be doing it as we drive, but we've actually made a conscious effort on this trip not to drive quite as much. But when you don't drive quite as much and the weather isn't that sunny all the time, you've got a double jeopardy, because you're not getting the B2B charging up the batteries, and you're not getting that much solar.
And we haven't driven anywhere for the last 2 days, so although we are going to be driving tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, which will hopefully top the batteries up to 100%. So we just have to sit here with our little camping light on. And
I'm looking at prices for a new lithium battery, aren't I?
Yeah. So if anyone wants to donate, I'm joking.
Yes, anyone wants me to test a lithium battery?
Yeah, I mean, we just feel we want to increase the amount of lithium power that we have, don't we? Because we travel in the winter and we don't want to be forced to be driving around so much. We want to be a bit more chilled. It does make it a little bit tricky when it's cold.
Hi folks, this is me from the future. It's February at the moment, and looking back on editing that video back in October, I just wanted to say that since then I have actually upgraded the batteries in Merlin. So if you want to see how that went, there's a couple of videos out about that. So give them a look. I'll put a link in the description, and this is what they look like. Right, back to the video.
And it's going to be 3 degrees tonight.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a song.
Clear sky.
Clear sky, yep. So yes, anyway, my arm's aching. We're not using a tripod. So what we're going to do now, we're going to watch something on the iPad with some homemade chocolate and a nice cup of tea while Merlin works his magic and charges the batteries a bit.
Yeah.
I think Jazzy thinks it's time for bed, probably because we're sitting here in the darkness, well, the semi-darkness. Better wrap her up, little munchkin. All right, Jazzy. Oh, good girl. Graham catching up with a bit of Facebook.
Well, it's time for bed now, and as the Milky Way travels over Merlin, we're going to leave this vlog here.
Thank you for joining us this week. If you've enjoyed our vlogs, please do consider liking, subscribing and giving us the thumbs up. Oh, and don't forget to comment. We love to hear what you think of our vlogs. And join us next time for some more adventures with Wizard in the Wild.